Fasten your seatbelts and keep your hands inside at all times because you boarded the 1-hour ride of your life.
That's right. Here's your ticket to experience the most pulse-pounding, eye-popping theme parks in America. Hold on tight. For the next hour, it's Theme Parks A Go-Go.
So, Mickey, you ready to do this? All right, let's do it, my friend. Let the adventures begin. We'll see you guys in a little bit. How you doing? This is David Charvet, and this is Theme Parks A Go-Go. Basically, we're here at Disneyland with my friend Ricky, Paul, and Danny.
And it's a pleasure to partake in the festivities with you at Disneyland today.
Likewise. We're going to check out a couple attractions today, Indiana Jones Adventure, and much, much more. Plus, you'll team up with Antonio Sabato Jr., Dolly Parton, and Alex Winter as they show you the most thrilling theme parks in America.
We don't have Space Mountain, but we have Twin Peaks.
And that's not all. Hi, I'm Hawk from the American Gladiators. You'll also ride along with Kim Fields as she braves the baddest that Magic Mountain has to offer here in Southern California. Oh my God! And if that's not enough action for you, how about this? The American Gladiators versus Batman.
Hi, I'm Siren.
And I'm Saber. And we're going to strap ourselves in to Batman the Ride to see which one of us can ride this incredible coaster the longest.
Who's the toughest gladiator? You'll have your answer at the end of the show.
I think it's me.
I know it's me. But first, here's a quick look at how theme parks became so powerful in America.
My earliest memory of an amusement park was when I went to Great Adventure.
First one I ever been to was in Rome, and I'll tell you, it was a lot smaller than this place.
I grew up in the Midwest in St. Louis, and I used to go every few days in the summertime to Six Flags.
And this is what about America, you know, it's just everything's so big.
Theme parks and America. They go together like, well, Disneyland and Mickey Mouse. We may call baseball our national pastime, but for the last 100 years, theme parks have been quietly giving that sport a run for its money.
Theme parks have really been the dominant force lately. And it's about a $6 billion a year industry. We come to have fun, for escapism, for excitement, for fantasy. And I don't think that's ever going to change. The original parks really originated along the shorelines. They were bathing beaches, they were places where people came out for picnics on Sundays along the beach and went swimming.
And along the East Coast, particularly of America, which was the great sort of metropolitan population centers, you had what were called Luna parks. Luna, apparently from the expression of the moon. They were pretty much nighttime phenomena.
And then the first roller coaster was built in the Coney Island area in the 1890s. So then that started a whole new facet. Hey, we can build rides and people will come and spend a nickel or 7 cents to ride a roller coaster ride.
Today's theme parks offer an amazing amalgamation of fanciful kiddie rides, high-tech attractions, hometown crafts, lavish parades, and live entertainment. But the #1 draw for the 260 million visitors to our parks each year will always be the thrill rides.
My idea of a great attraction is something that is sort of akin to the idea of a human centrifuge.
A little adrenaline, a little scare tactic, you know, that kind of thing. Shock value. I'll take a good adrenaline rush any day of the week.
You get all, I can do this, and then you're just like...
Have you ever chickened out in a ride? No. I'm ballsy.
If a park has all kinds of nice family rides and so forth, people know about it and appreciate it. But to get some national attention, it's the thrill rides. The large roller coasters, the large water rides, whatever, are the ones that will really put the park on the map. And it will also keep people coming. That's what's important.
But that's not all. The folks who run America's largest theme parks also know to keep people coming back, they have to keep adding new multi-million-dollar attractions.
We just try every year to add something that has some meaning and some entertainment value. and something that would mean something to us as well as to the public.
Dolly recently added Jukebox Junction to her park, Dollywood, while Busch Gardens in Virginia now invites you to escape from Pompeii. And Disneyland dares you to join the Indiana Jones adventure.
You always have to stay on the cutting edge. You always have to stay fresh and new. You don't want to be a museum. You don't want to be a place to go just to remember what it was like when you were a kid.
Of course, when it comes to theme parks, Disneyland wrote the book.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When they opened back in July of 1955, an actual theme park to this caliber was never seen in the United States or even on this planet before.
So at the time in the 50s, in America, you pretty much would have trouble finding any ride that wasn't basically a roller coaster or a whirly-gig or something that would spin you or shake you.
So the whole industry was kind of at a very, very low spot between 1950 and 1960. Then along comes Walt Disney, and with this whole new bright, colorful, cheerful family environment. And zowie, here we go.
Today, 4 decades later, families can choose from a vast array of theme parks owned by major companies, like Six Flags, Anheuser-Busch, and Paramount, just to name a few.
The short answer is it's a major industry, and you will find most of the entertainment conglomerates aggressively trying to become part of it.
While these conglomerates may ultimately be in business for the big bucks, it's the theme park enthusiasts who cash in on the biggest benefit.
Well, let's put it this way. I've never met a theme park that isn't good.
Over like that.
No, I told you, it's this way.
I know where we're going.
Great.
No, it's this. Hey! Roger! How you doing? How you doing? What's going on?
Hey! Oh,
Where are we going? Where do you want to go? You want to go in there?
let's go.
All right, how you doing? My name's David Charvet. We're going to go and check this out. Roger Rabbit, cartoon spin. We'll see you in a bit. Take care. Ah! Woo! Yeah! Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Danger, danger.
Give me 5, give me 5. Yeah! Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin is based on the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit, of course. Across the country, you'll find some incredible theme parks that also get their action from the movies.
Really a lot of fun to have your movie end up turning out to be what I call, and I think I can safely say is the greatest ride in the world.
Hi, I'm Antonio Sabato Jr. We're at Universal Studio Hollywood. This is my friends George and Filippo. We're going to go and check out what? Back to the Future.
That's right, and we can't wait.
Theme park rides based on movies? It's not a new idea, but it is an idea whose time has come.
Back to the Future. Where's Michael J. Fox?
And as Antonio Sabato Jr. and his friends found, this billion-dollar business is booming, and there's no end in sight.
We've been waiting for you. Never get here in time.
We just got here.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're ready.
You are?
Yes.
Good. We're having a little security problem in time, so we're going to have to rush along.
Time's been more than kind to Universal's theme park. When it opened in 1964, it attracted about 39,000 visitors each year. Today, nearly that many people visit the park every day.
Right now they have Back to the Future, E.T., Backdraft, and they have a lot of great rides. I love them.
It's going to be close.
But as Universal's popularity grows, so does the competition. In 1989, Disney World joined forces with MGM Studios to directly compete with Universal's strong hold on the movie theme park industry. And recently, Paramount Pictures got into the act, opening 5 parks of their own. One across the border in Toronto called Canada's Wonderland, and others across the U.S., King's Dominion in Richmond, Virginia, Great America in Santa Clara, California, Kings Island in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Carowinds in Charlotte, North Carolina.
All 5 of those Paramount parks have various brand items from the Paramount movies. They've brought a whole new life to the rides and attractions within the Paramount Park.
A century ago, before motion pictures, theme park rides in Europe were drawn from popular books.
Theme parks of that time, in fact, would have a ride into Dante's Inferno. or a trip through a house in an earthquake, or a voyage to Pompeii. And apparently they were quite successful and quite evocative, and in some ways very much similar to the theme park phenomena that we have today.
A half-century later, story-based theme rides pioneered their way to the United States, this time inspired not by books, but by movies.
Well, we're just gonna go have a blast.
This really is Hollywood. We put people in the movies here.
But putting people in the movies comes with a hefty price tag. Try $30 million per attraction. Most movies don't cost that much.
Let's go to Chicago for some burning sensation. Backdraft.
I think it's really exciting, and I'm pleased that people coming to Universal now as guests will be able to go and kind of experience what we experience, what I experienced, being on the set and seeing an entire room just turn into an inferno. It's pretty wild.
Because Universal is a working studio, the cast and crew of movies and television shows have become part of the park's attraction. So don't be too surprised if you run into a familiar face.
How you doing?
But whether you're a star or a stargazer, if you love the thrill of the ride and the magic of Hollywood, this is where you can come to live the movies.
Goodbye, Antonio.
This is my beautiful date, Minnie. I know you guys know my friend Alex Winters from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. We took him on his own adventure. Let's see what happens. We'll see you in a bit. If that doesn't work, I don't know what does, Minnie.
Hey, I'm Alex Winter, and I'm here at the Busch Gardens theme park in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Bonjour, bienvenuto, willkommen. Although it's nestled in the rolling hills of southern Virginia, a visit to Busch Gardens Williamsburg is like taking a mini tour through Europe.
It's a very large theme park, and this thing looks more like a field map to the Normandy invasion than a map to a theme park, so I can't really figure out exactly where I'm going or what I'm doing, but there's a lot of great things to see here, apparently.
Busch Gardens is divided into 9 European hamlets modeled after 17th century villages. Although England, France, and Italy are represented, it's Germany that seems to have caught Alex's attention.
Well, this is the Oktoberfest. We're in Fest House, and the eatery is an important part of any theme park. Ich habe einen intense Hunger.
For better or worse, Alex grabs a light snack of sausages, sandwiches, and sweets before heading out to the white-knuckle thrill rides.
Help me!
The first stop, Drachenfire, a steel roller coaster with speeds up to 60 miles per hour.
It's the fastest roller coaster here, upside down 5 times. Sayonara! Fortunately, my vertebrae snapped like a twig, or I'd get up. But the doctor should be here shortly, and then we'll continue on with our adventure. When I was a kid, I used to go to the theme parks all the time, and my goal was to come home as ill as possible. So it's really about abuse, I'd say.
Now that he's a little older and a lot wiser, Alex appreciates the fact that rides aren't the only attraction here at Busch Gardens.
And you got a place that also has a lot of other stuff, and sort of you can stroll around and enjoy nature and, you know, be a bit more laid back.
It's a European themed park. It's one of the most beautiful parks. In fact, it has been named the most beautiful theme park in America.
Providing something for everyone is of paramount importance to Anheuser-Busch, the beer brewing conglomerate which owns Busch Gardens.
And this is the family aspect of the company that really rounds out the business.
Come here, look at Mommy.
So we take a great pride in the Anheuser-Busch theme parks and really spend a lot of energy making them the best they can be.
The theme park business was actually an afterthought. In 1959, the brewery opened a hospitality center in Tampa, Florida. They dubbed it Busch Gardens. 16 years later, the gates opened to another Busch Gardens, this time on 360 wooded acres in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Oh no, what you do?
And then in 1989, Anheuser-Busch purchased the SeaWorld parks located in Florida, Ohio, California, and Texas.
Every year, Anheuser-Busch unveils a new attraction at each park. SeaWorld of Texas recently premiered a ride called Sky Tubin', while SeaWorld of Ohio debuted their interactive habitat, Dolphin Cove. But perhaps the most ambitious undertaking is the Wild Arctic exhibit at SeaWorld of Florida.
It's a new realm for all of us, and guests will come up close, face to face with live animals like polar bears and beluga whales and harbor seals. It's really exciting.
Back at Sister Park Busch Gardens, Alex Winter is being schooled on the newest attraction in Williamsburg.
The most thrilling new attraction, don't get scared, is Escape from Pompeii, which is located over in Italy.
Not the thing to do if you've eaten a large plate of lasagna.
You get on a 20-person boat, you go up a lift, and you go through the ruins of Pompeii. It's like going through ancient Rome. And there are all kinds of fiery special effects. Statues fall over, beams come crashing down.
There's no turning back now, folks.
And just when you think you've made a successful escape from Pompeii, there's a heart-stopping 5-story waterfall to navigate. However, Alex seems no worse for the wear.
First shower I've had in weeks.
After all, he's figured out how to put the amusement in amusement park.
It's really about abuse, I'd say, is at the heart of every good theme park. I think I'm going to go to the land of Alka-Seltzer next. Well, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed a little tour through Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, Virginia.
I thought it was a rather excellent adventure.
Oh, how do you...
That was a stinker. All right, Jeeves, hit the button. Let's roll.
Hi, this is Dolly Parton, and welcome to Dollywood.
People around the world have come to know her through her music, also through her movies. But to her former neighbors in this rural part of East Tennessee, Dolly Parton is not only the hometown girl made good, she's the heart and soul of the local theme park.
Dollywood is located in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and probably is one of the most quaint parks in the country. And the best thing that Dollywood really has to offer is the lineup of shows that they have. And of course, Dolly, when she shows up.
Well, I met him on a Sunday and my heart stood still. A do-round, round, round, a do-round, round.
Dolly shows up in Dollywood as often as her performing schedule permits, but she's especially likely to be on hand when the park opens a new attraction.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
We decided to add a $7 million, 7-acre expansion dedicated totally to the 50s. So we have areas that I have named from things that have to do with my life. There's the Kaz Walker store. Kaz Walker is a man that owned a chain of supermarkets in this area. He sponsored a radio and television show had a country band, and I was part of one of those bands when I started at the age of 10. So I kind of dedicated a store to him. Uncle Bill's Guitar Shop. It's an area where you can go in and buy all sorts of things. We have Red's Diner. It's a drive-in restaurant, but actually this was the restaurant to go in Sevierville when I was growing up, where they had hamburgers, milkshakes, French fries, and that's what we're serving now, just like the old days.
Oh, and I wonder where she will stay, my little runaway.
We have every kind of music imaginable here in the park, from gospel to mountain music, the old folk music with the instruments. We make dulcimers here on the park. We have all these great craftsmen, and we have the crafts fair every fall where people come from all over the world that do all these wonderful crafts. It's like going back in time. We have all the wonderful things like it was 100 years ago in the Smoky Mountains.
Parts of Dollywood may be rooted in the past, but others deal very much with the present and the future.
Well, right now, we're in one of my favorite areas of the park. This is called the Eagle Sanctuary. We have a lot of birds of prey that have been injured, so we keep them here, and they lay their eggs. We have an incubator house on the other side of the mountain where we hatch the eggs, and then we actually do release the little bald eagles. We know they're bald because they keep combing their feathers over the top of their head. That's how we know they're bald eagles. But we're very proud of this. This is the National Foundation to Protect the Bald Eagle.
The bird sanctuary, the musical performances, and the crafts may be main draws of Dollywood, but there are also the rides.
We don't have what you call the world-famous roller coasters here. I often joke and say we don't have Space Mountain, but we have Twin Peaks. But actually we do have the best non-roller coaster rides in the United States, like the Slide Winder, where you come plumb down the mountain. I'm as proud of this, if not more, than anything that I've ever done. It's just very important to me. It's very personal to me. And I'm very involved in all of the park. It was a wonderful business move on my part, too, but it also has provided a lot of wonderful jobs for relatives of mine, friends of mine, neighbors that I grew up with. So I'm proud of the fact that I've brought something back to this area that we can all be proud of.
Dollywood is just one of several theme parks owned and operated by Silver Dollar City, Inc., whose flagship property in Branson, Missouri, was built around the town's very first tourist attraction, Marvel Cave.
The cave began to be built around. I mean, they discovered it back in the 20s, and then in the 40s, the Herschen family came in and bought it, and it just grew.
And around it grew a musical theme park. Music plays a major role in the life of Silver Dollar City. It's also the central theme of Opryland in Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, it's lonely, but I'm hanging in, hanging out till I'm with you again.
Opryland Park in itself was really the first show park. And that's a nice thing about Opryland, because they've stayed to their particular theme. The Wabash Cannonball, Old Mill Scream. A lot of their rides are very music related.
And some of them are just plain fun.
Well, the Hangman at Opryland is definitely the biggest attraction. It's the first inverted roller coaster in this part of the country, and it's going to create a lot of press for the park itself.
Roller coasters and other rides may make news at Opryland, but that's not what most patrons come to experience. The shows are the main ticket here, as they are in Silver Dollar City or Dollywood, where entertainment always comes from the heart.
If you wanna know if he loves you so, it's in his kiss. That's where it is. Oh yeah, it's in his kiss. That's where it is.
Hi, I'm David Charvet.
Hi, I'm Ricky Paul Golden.
It's all right, buddy.
You okay? We're just back from Thunder Mountain. If you like to scream on rides, check this out. You okay, buddy?
It may be the need for speed, or the desire to be scared out of our minds, that keeps us coming back for more. So sit down and hold tight, because we're going to take you on a twisting, turning, white-knuckle ride aboard some of America's most spectacular roller coasters. Since the turn of the century, adults and children alike have wanted the same thing from their roller coasters: hair-raising thrills.
The grandfather of them all, the Coney Island Cyclone. They didn't have much space on the beach to build it, so they built it within itself. and you twist in and out of yourself, and it's still got some of the greatest turns.
There are also some pretty good turns on one of Ohio's favorite scream machines, the Beast. This record-setting coaster at Kings Island, outside Cincinnati, challenges all comers.
As far as my dollar's concerned, probably the best wooden roller coaster ever built. It's also the longest ride anywhere in North America, a little over 4 minutes.
Texans say everything is bigger and better in their state, and roller coasters are no exception. That includes the Texas Giant at Six Flags Over Texas.
If you like speed, fast turns, if you like smooth corners, if you like rough dips, the Texas Giant basically has it all for you.
The wooden roller coaster has given riders rip-roaring adventure for 100 years. But the newest rage in thrill machines is the inverted roller coaster, like this fearsome specimen, the Raptor at Cedar Point.
What that means is inverted, you hang below the track, you sit in like a ski lift chair, and your feet kind of dangle below you. And as you take off, the floor drops out, your feet dangle, and you go through all kinds of corkscrews, all the various elements, including the loops with your feet dangling.
If dangling your feet at 60 miles an hour isn't your speed, then you may want to tuck your toes into the Steel Phantom at Kennywood Park in Pennsylvania.
The Steel Phantom at Kennywood is an awesome piece of steel. I mean, you go up that first hill, and usually at the dip at the end of the first hill, that's where the strongest piece of excitement comes on a steel coaster. But then you go up to the second hill, and that's where the long, long drop. It's over 220 feet drop. And what you feel is total exhilaration when you hit the bottom of that hill.
Long drops and high speeds also make hearts pound on Cedar Point's 72-mile-an-hour, 205-foot-high Magnum XL 200.
It's a fantastic steel coaster, and it's first of the mega coasters in the United States as far as height, and it's a very, very strong, powerful roller coaster. No loops, no cute elements, just flat-out thrill ride.
Need more thrills? Then go west to Buffalo Bill's Casino in State Line, Nevada for Desperado, the fastest, highest roller coaster in the world.
One unique thing about the Desperado, other than it being so tall and so powerful and fun, is the fact that you load actually in the casino.
Whether you're upside down or right side up, child or adult, the reason we ride remains the same: thrill.
Say when you how do you do? With everyone feeling really good to joy. What goes up is sure to come down. A penny lost is a penny found. How do you do? And you.
I've seen it all, ladies and gentlemen. Theme parks, beaches, unbelievable. Yeah, give me 5. Right here. Woo! Yes. We roll. That's right. How you doing? My name is David Charvet from Theme Parks A Go-Go. We're drying off. Check this out. We'll be right back.
Hi there, this is Kim Fields. Well, I am Kim Fields, and welcome to my home video at Magic Mountain with some of my friends. This is, of course, Daffy Duck, and this is Foghorn Leghorn. And I brought some of my other friends, my fiance and some of his family members. Erica, Martha is always talking. Martha, so we are ready to have a good time on the coaster. So you guys ready? Yeah. Let's go.
Kim Fields and her friends may not know it yet, but their day at Six Flags Magic Mountain will be no day at the beach. They're about to test their survival skills on some of the most challenging rides on the West Coast. First up, Batman, the ride.
Oh man, I'm scared.
Kim has good reason to be scared. The G-forces on this ride are so great that the camera sometimes cuts out. But that's not enough to keep these riders from trying to quench their thirst for excitement.
It's an unforgettable ride, you know. When you sit down, there's no bottom there. There's really nothing, you know, around you, and you just feel so open and vulnerable, and then you just twisting and turning and dipping, and it seems like it takes forever. Oh, it's tons of fun. Are you deaf now from my screaming?
Yeah, you scream pretty good.
Sorry. We're going on Colossus now. It's an oldie, but still a goodie.
Kim, a Magic Mountain veteran, knows how to make the most of her ride.
Now, the best place for Colossus is either the front row or the back row. The simplicity of it is what I like. Your basic roller coaster, you know, the ups and the downs. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, the anticipation. The anticipation kills you. Yeah! That's how you do it. All righty now. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Now that's the thing about Colossus. It's so simple, yet it's still so much fun, you know?
Kim and her friends aren't the only Six Flags visitors to come for the fun provided by the roller coasters.
Six Flags as a whole is quite unique from the rest of the theme parks in the country because we are known for the best thrill rides. There's a lot of rides that are similar at the parks, but each park has its own unique landscape and its own unique rides. Six Flags operates 11 theme parks in 7 major regions across the country. In fact, you can't go within a day's drive without coming across one of the Six Flags parks. In New Jersey, Six Flags operates 2 parks, Six Flags Great Adventure, which is a theme park, and Six Flags Wild Animal Safari, which is one of the largest wild animal safaris in the world. And in Houston, Six Flags operates Astro World, which is a theme park, and then Six Flags Water World, which is their water theme park. Six Flags was some of the innovators of some of the things that you know of today. For example, the one-price ticket started at Six Flags over Texas. The first steel tubular roller coaster, the first man-made whitewater rafting ride, which is Roaring Rapids, opened at Six Flags over Texas, and the Broadway-style musical review. Here in Southern California, we have an unbelievable product mix for the entire family, including a 6-acre Bugs Bunny world, and just a beautiful park to walk around and come and see. So it's definitely a lot of product for every member of the family.
Kim Fields and her comrades, however, were in search of neither cartoon characters nor beauty. More thrills were on their agenda.
Oh, Lord, we're going on Viper after lunch. I don't know if that was such a great idea, but hey, I'm excited about Viper. Oh, yeah, we're going to do some major screaming on this one. Oh, my God. Look at that! Viper, what can you say about that ride? Keep your head back, take your earrings off, otherwise your ears are going to get pounced on. But all those, you know, loops and everything, it's great. It's fun.
After shaking, rattling, and rolling on Viper, Kim and company were ready for something a little more sedate. They didn't find it at Roaring Rapids.
The rides, of course, are always awesome. The thrills and the spills if you go on Roaring Rapids. So it was fun. We've been tossed and turned and drenched and flipped and everything, so now it's just time to chill. Good night, everybody.
We're reaching the final of the show with the moment that we've been waiting for, Indiana Jones Adventure. What do you say, guys? Should we do it? Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Come on.
I was anxious that it would be a very exciting ride, that it would have the same kind of thrill and excitement that the movies had.
You had to feel like the culture in the movie. You had to feel like Indiana Jones. You had to feel like the character trying to get out of scrapes and avoiding the bugs and the snakes.
And I think it's accomplished that. It's a very thrilling ride.
The Indiana Jones Adventure is the biggest attraction in Disneyland's 40-year history. Although it opened in 1995, the ride was first proposed back in 1987.
A lot of the delay was due to the technology. We had to develop a lot of new technology in order to make the ride feasible.
Of course, feasible just isn't good enough when it comes to Disney. They've made the ride unpredictable. By utilizing state-of-the-art technology, this attraction presents a slightly different adventure every time you ride it.
Well, hopefully it means people want to go back on it again and see it more than once, because there are various versions of the ride, which is a new feature of this particular ride.
On opening day, there were plenty of would-be explorers eager to climb aboard Indy's Jeep.
I think we're going to get ready for a little action, a little adventure.
If it's anything like the movies, it's going to be a tremendous success, no question about it.
I'm kind of apprehensive, actually. Why? Because I got to wear a hat, you know.
I want that big bull, you know, to come chasing me down the thing like it did in Indiana Jones, you know.
After 4 decades, Disneyland has become expert at fulfilling the high expectations of its many guests. In fact, Disneyland is second only to the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World, Florida, when it comes to attracting the most visitors in the country.
Disney was a very creative man and a genius, and he has done more for families and for children than any other person that I can think of.
It's pretty interesting. My son's 4 years old. I mean, he hasn't been mass marketed out the wazoo yet, and yet he knows this is the place in the world for kids to come.
But let's not forget about the young at heart. After all, it's finally David's turn to board the Indiana Jones Adventure.
E-Channel, get ready for the ride of your life. Indiana Jones coming straight at you.
But before we let David go, one final excavation tip.
There's a rumor, or I guess it's kind of a myth, that every Imagineering team puts some image of Mickey Mouse in their attraction. And I can't say if that's true or not, but if it was true, I would look for it in the Mummy Chamber.
Good luck trying to find it, David.
Oh my God! Oh. I know I'm hosting the rest of this segment, so I know I'm not going to die. Oh my God!
While David recovers from his adventure, we'll have time to crown the winner of our roller coaster endurance test. You'll remember we started the show with 3 brave gladiators on Batman the Ride at Magic Mountain. But now we're down to 2, Hawk and Siren, Siren and Hawk. Who will throw in the towel first?
Okay, I've had enough.
And the championship goes to Siren.
What a ride!
While Siren takes her solo victory lap, just what she needs, it's time for us to say goodbye back at the Indiana Jones Adventure with David Charvet and a special friend.
This is Indiana Jones Adventure in Disneyland. Take care, we'll see you later. What? You want to go back? Another time? Are you sure? Okay, fine, let's do it. Come on.